choice but to hear you. You stated your case time and again. I thought about it.
Hello everyone, ShortMeTina once again from ShortMeTina.com. I guess I should say I'm back, but the interesting thing is I never really left, and I got an overwhelming amount of, and I'm super happy about this. It makes me feel extremely appreciated. But I got an overwhelming amount of emails. Folks were hitting me up on varying social media channels, just asking and wondering if I'm okay, because again, one of my main things is I do videos every single day, specifically when the markets are open Monday through Friday. And so in looking back on things, again, I have to do a better job at communicating, not just to folks that are subscribed to my free newsletter. So if you're not subscribed, head on over to ShortMeTina.com and ensure that you provide me with your best email so you can get on that list. I offer, from time to time, I'll offer free trade ideas and also sort of like tips and tricks that I've learned trading the markets for the past 15 or so years. So in just looking back, actually, how about let's do it this way? Why the break in communication? So generally speaking, and this is 100% listed in my terms of service and disclaimer, and I just have to find a way to make it more visible, or like I said, communicate better. But I generally take, and it varies from year to year, but around 3 to 4 quote-unquote vacations per year. So considering I do two things. I am a trader, but also on the flip side, I am an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, whatever you want to call it. I do run a business, which is ShortMeTina. My vacations might look a little bit differently than your vacations. So when I'm on vacation, yes, I am away. It could be, for example, late last year, around October, I went away for about 2 to 3 weeks, right? I took a quote-unquote European vacation. I visited beautiful, beautiful places, Paris, Switzerland, Amsterdam. I believe we touched in Spain a bit. And so generally speaking, again, I like to take about, and it varies, 3 to 4 vacations per year. These can be weekend getaways. These can be, for days or weeks. And again, they look different from your vacations in the sense that I'm never really not connected, right? So I'm still communicating with clients via email, and just generally, again, I am not disconnected, connected to the markets, connected to my members. Where I think the disconnect happened this time around, it's a couple of things. So the last video that I uploaded was on Friday, and I did go away for the past, I think it was like 4 or 5 days. I left on Sunday, right, this past Sunday. So the last video that I uploaded was on Friday, right, this past Friday, before that 3-day weekend. Monday was President's Day, and therefore the markets were closed. And again, I do videos Monday through Friday if the markets are open. So the last video that I did was on Monday, right? Saturday, I think I may have kind of reposted those videos. Sunday, I sent out, my weekly newsletters to premium members, and I also sent out my free newsletter as well. Again, and you would have known this if you're a paying member, if you're subscribed to my free newsletter. And on Monday there was no, and I left on Sunday. I left from here. I went to Louisiana. I went to New Orleans. I had a great time. So Monday, obviously there was no content uploaded because the markets were closed. And Tuesday, I think Tuesday is where it kind of got a little sketchy. Tuesday, I didn't upload anything because if you guys know much about my rants, I'm not the hugest fan of Apple products. I got into a bit of, let's just say, equipment malfunctioned, right? So that's one thing. The second thing is, generally speaking, like when I went away to Europe late last year, I did a combination of things because I actually walked with my my podcasting microphone with me, so I was able to actually record and upload videos in Europe. But I did two things. There were some days where I recorded and I uploaded videos, and there was other days where I provided like still charts with annotations on them. So Tuesday, that did not happen, right? Let me go back. I'm very repetitive, so let me go through the timeline again. Sunday, and this is super important, so this is gonna prevent any miscommunications in the future. So Friday, last video uploaded. Saturday, the markets are closed. Sunday, I sent out my premium newsletter as well as my free newsletter. I posted on varying social media channels. So if you're not following me on those channels, you need to, like Facebook, Twitter, StockTwits, YouTube, super important channels. Monday, the markets were closed. Nothing happened. And Tuesday, because, again, Apple products, they're not the best. Charging cords for my laptop, I've replaced like 4 of them within the span of 2 years. They get very faulty, so I wasn't able to upload anything, not even a still chart on Tuesday. And I think those missing days is where people thought that there might have been some kind of a disconnection. So again, they didn't hear from me Friday. If they're not subscribed to my newsletter, or if they're not a premium member, then the last time they heard from me was Friday, right? And if they're not following me on those social media channels, then they may have missed what I uploaded on Tuesday, which is still charts with annotations, right? Not Tuesday. Monday we were closed, not Tuesday. What I did yesterday, which is Wednesday. And so today I'm back in town. And it's crazy because my flight actually got canceled yesterday. And so it's just been really crazy. It's been fun. It's been crazy. To sum it up, because I've been talking for a very long time, to sum it up for everyone, I'm doing fine. Again, what I need to do going forward is either two things. So 2 things. When I am away, I am going to make that known not just to my premium members. And, I had issues on whether or not I even needed to tell folks. The only time I really feel it's necessary to tell my members that I'm away, both paid and free, is if I'm out of the country. Because when I'm out of the country, things get a little bit, the odds of things, not necessarily going wrong, but things happening tend to increase because I'm outside of my domain, right? If I'm in the States, right? If I'm in the States, I'm okay. Hence why I don't think I communicated that I was going to be gone for a few days. And again, I didn't feel it was necessary because I'm always connected. Like if you send me an email, I'm going to respond, right? But anyway, to sum up, I'm back. Videos are here. Moving forward, I'm going to try to, as best as I can, inform everyone through all my social media channels, right? I'm going to be out of the country or out of the state for X amount of days. I guess just so folks, I'm not even quite sure. Like, as I'm talking to you, I'm thinking out loud. Because the second alternative, right? The second alternative for me would be to actually just get a microphone that's actually portable. Because when I travel, I really like to travel very light. It's just who I am. I don't like to lug around a lot of luggages. And the podcasting microphone that I have right now, it weighs a good 10 pounds. It's pretty heavy. So what I can do is find one that's light and portable, and then that should sort of eliminate folks not seeing daily videos. It's the best that I can do. So yeah, a very thorough explanation, because, I like to be transparent. I like to let folks know what's going on, because, I'm building a community, right? I do these videos every single day. I encourage people to engage and communicate with me. And so I feel that's it's the least that I can do as well for folks, is to sort of extend that same line of communication and just be open with you folks the way you are. The way you have been with me, and the fact that a lot of folks actually reached out on varying channels, made me feel really bad in a way, like, oh no, I'm fine. I'm actually having a great time. I mean, I don't know if anyone that's listening is out in Louisiana, right? I went to New Orleans. It was great out there, right? I had, some native foods that I haven't tried before, like gumbo, and jambalaya, and char-grilled oysters, which sounds probably not that great, but they're amazing. But I had a good time. I'm back, and going forward, the name of the game is communication. So we're going to start off with a couple of things. One, if you are new to my channel, that 10-minute intro must have been really, really long for you. Thanks for listening through it. And for those that are returning, thank you once again for always stopping in and tuning in. So let's go over the SPY really quickly. What are we looking at right now? Looking at a daily chart dating back to 2017. I've gone over the SPY to the point of nausea. You guys know what I'm looking at. The lines are, you know, they're on the chart. No second guessing. We have rallied, at this point, we rallied about 15%, give or take. 15% from the December 24th lows, closed at 277, running into resistance here of around 280. You can see we had a bit of a pullback today. I wouldn't be surprised if it made another attempt. The fact that it's actually hanging out for the past 4 days is kind of trading sideways. So I wouldn't be surprised if we take out yesterday's high of 278.92 and went on to actually sort of touch on longer term resistance going back to, again, 2000 and let's say 2018, resistance going back to about a year. Wouldn't be surprised if the market's kind of overshot. Well, one, made attempts to touch 280 and overshot that. That's actually what I'm anticipating and waiting on at this point. Ideally, because I do not like V-shaped rallies, ideally I've indicated that the SPY needs to pull back. So if this continues, if this pullback continues tomorrow, I will be fine with that. Even if we pull back, which might be a bit of an extreme move, right? So just based on how much we've rallied, a scenario where we pull back to 260 does not seem that likely the longer the rally trucks on, but a pullback to like that 262 area, right? Not 257, but that 262 area, I wouldn't be surprised, and that's what I'm anticipating or at least hoping for. What else do we have? IWM daily chart, similar story. We're essentially really just kind of like knocking on again that resistance door of around, let's call it 157, 158. It's about a range. Closed at 156.79. So the pullback wasn't really that extreme. We're off, in my opinion, we're essentially flat on the day. We're off, what, 0.38%. So it's not necessarily like a huge move. So we're still kind of like, you know, touching on resistance door. And the longer we do that, if we do not pull back, chances are we're going to penetrate resistance and there's going to be that overshoot. I'm pretty sure if folks are short the market, right? If folks are short the market, then there's going to be a lot of short covering, I want to say, with a move above 158 or so. But let's see what's going to happen. What else do we have? All right, and we have our ticker GERN daily chart. I haven't covered this stock in a while, but it's getting interesting to me. So we're looking at a chart dating back to 2009. So you've had like a really huge range, but also a really huge channel for an extended period of time. So since gapping down here, the stock fell below support. We can call support around 175, 180. And sitting here at 147, it seems as though it's making attempts to actually get above that support line. If it can successfully do that on volume and sustain that move, then you're, in my opinion, you're looking at a trade from a risk-reward perspective that can potentially give you, in my opinion, high reward. So definitely put ticker GERN on your watch list and monitor. Again, sitting here at 147, it looks like it wants to break above, which is now resistance, once multi-year support of around 175, 180. What else do we have? All right, and we have ticker BPMX daily chart. So I've done a couple of videos within the past 2 weeks on ticker BPMX. Closed here at around 10 cents, up about 4.5% on the day. So we got a bit of a bounce, which is to be expected because we're sitting on support. However, although support has held for about, we can say, a few trading days, right? Dating back to late January, support has held, in my opinion, the longer it continues to touch that support level of around 9 or 10 cents, the likelihood of it breaking increases. So if it can't drift away from 10 cents, right, if it can't drift away from support of around 9 or 10 cents, then I'm anticipating a break, and I think we can easily revisit the most recent December lows of 5 cents. Again, volume is completely absent from this particular stock, so anyone, any short seller, anyone that, you know, let goes of just even a small amount of shares, right? If someone let goes of about, I don't know, $5,000 to $10,000 worth of shares, it can easily crater the price of this particular security. So be cautious. What else do we have? And then we have Snap up about 1.6% on the day, closed at 939. Clearly it seems, well, not as though it is inching up, but there's going to be that one day where the stock really craters and it's going to fill this gap here of around 909. Pardon, that's not the gap. That's not the gap that I'm looking for. It's going to fill this gap of around $7.05. And at that point, if it can sustain that move, right, remain above resistance / support of around 7 to 750, in my opinion, that would be the ideal or opportune time to add to my already existing long position. In trading, what I preach to just anyone who's willing to listen to me, patience is the name of the game, right? I've been waiting for Snap to actually fill this gap for a very long time. I'm not going to just jump on the trade and jump in and chase. That doesn't make any sense. Wait for the stock to come to you. They always do. What else do we have? All right, and we have CRON daily chart up about 1% on the day. Very anemic volume. However, granted we closed at 22.47, but the stock has managed to hold on to not longer term, shorter term support of around $18.50. So it's held that support area dating back to late January. Let's see if it can continue to hold that support level. Obviously, CRON has been a darling to us. We got into this stock way back in August with the buy zone of around $5. If you listen to me, well, not if you listen to me, but if you've paid attention sort of to my messaging and methodology over the course of however long I've started ShortMeTina, you'll know that I'm really a big proponent on holding on to stocks that are showing you profit, right? Folks tend to do the opposite. They tend to hold on to those losing trades and get rid of winning trades at the first sign of profit. That is not necessarily the best way to ensure that you edge out profitably within each month, quarter, or year. In my opinion, it is best to hold on to your winners. Now, so for the folks that who have held on to this stock dating back to August, right? It's been a while. It's been over 6 months, but they are up generously, right? They're up, I don't know, do the math, 200 to 300%. Actually, they're up over 300% on this trade just simply by holding on. So if there's anything that you should learn, in my opinion, from my 15 years or so being involved in the markets, is to try your best to be very, very patient, very, very patient with your winning trades, and extremely impatient with your losing trades. What else do we have? All right, so let's round it out with ticker APRN, off about 2% on the day. You're looking at a daily chart dating back to 2017. Again, granted, we closed at 149, off about 2% on the day. But the fact that ticker APRN has been trying to penetrate what was once longer-term support of around, let's say, 160, in my opinion, bodes well for a bullish setup. So put ticker APRN on your watch list. And let's wrap it there. So ShortMeTina once again from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of this video, I want you to do 3 things for me. 1, comment, engage. Let me know, Tina, I'm long SPY, I'm short SPY, I'm long IWN, ticker GERN, BPMX, Snapchat, CRON, APRN, whatever it is. Or, Tina, I'm actually looking at these other trade ideas. Just engage. Comment if you like the video, thumbs up. If you don't like it, thumbs down. Second thing I'd ask for you to do is to head on over to our YouTube channel at ShortMeTina and hit that subscribe button. I do videos Monday through Friday. Despite this mishap, I do videos Monday through Friday. This ensures that you won't miss one. Anytime I upload a video, you'll be automatically notified. And lastly, head on over to ShortMeTina.com, sign up, become a member. Thank you for listening, and as always, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the support.
I'm a princess. I'm not used to